Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. I'm a little bit early and late because, okay, first off, hello, this is Kenny Rockmon, the author and founder of the Child Support Hustle and the founder of the Reform Child Support Now movement. And I am happy to be here. I haven't made a video in a little bit, so happy to be back on. Um, I say I'm late and early because I did a post earlier and said I'd be on at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, but I ended up changing it. But I don't know if anybody went back to look to see I was going to be on here at 4:30, and then I'm a little bit late because it's 4:36 or 5:36. So I'm see some people coming on. So happy to see you guys. Hello, hello, hello. Make sure my chat is on. Somebody could say hi. I appreciate it. Thanks for the like. I want to welcome all the new people that have come over and subscribed and went and are supporting me or following me on Instagram or the Facebook page, Twitter. Thank you if you've been supporting and fighting alongside of me for child support reform. Thank you for your continued support. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Greetings, Willie G. Thanks for letting me know that you're there. So I'm gonna jump right into it. As the caption says, description. We know that, or pretty much most people know now that child support is a welfare recovery program, and because of that, parents are required to cooperate with child support when they apply for certain benefits. And those benefits are the temporary aid, assistance for needy families, that's TANF, and Medicaid. Those are two programs that are specific, mandatory cooperation. So recently, as I've said, I've received messages, and I've also seen posts on Twitter and different outlets that are saying, "Oh, you're welcome, Robert. It's my pleasure. Thank you for being here." They're saying that different agencies are asking for the cooperation for certain benefits that, in my based on my research, are not included in that mandate. So I wanted to go back and look at some research because over the years some things have changed, and so I wanted to go and look to see, well, how much have they changed, because that's really important. Because if you're making somebody sue the other parent in order to get some benefits, then everybody needs to know that, and it has to be put out there so that one parent is not getting misinformation just based on the caseworker that they are going to go see. Hey, get off my cashews. I like that. Welcome. Thank you. If y'all can give me a thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay, so I want to go over this, and hopefully this information will be helpful to you if especially now during the pandemic, people are having a more difficult time. We have like child care issues, Medicaid, even TANF. People are going to go sign up for those benefits. So it's right that you know what you have to sign up for, you don't have to sign up for, because a lot of times, even in my situation, we were told, that we weren't told that it was a lawsuit and that we were actually suing the other parent. At least I wasn't. And I know I've talked to several parents that weren't notified that we were suing, that the child support process was actually one parent suing the other parent. So it's a lot of parents, the non-custodial parents or non-residential parents, are thinking that, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but that parent filed child support against them out of spite or just out of the blue. Well, no, it's a federal mandate that if you apply for certain welfare benefits, you have to, in order to receive those benefits, sue for those benefits, sue the other parent for child support. So that's a big misconception. And another one is that every parent on child support is on child support because they don't take care of their children. That's false. A lot of these child support orders are in place because of the welfare system. So that's one thing. So first I'm gonna get into the TANF requirements. which, according to Paula Roberts from the Center of Law and Social Policy, one of the requirements is that the person in the family with the legal right to do so must assign to the state any rights he or she has to spousal support. We don't talk a lot about spousal support because mostly these TANF cases and these child support cases focus on unmarried parents. So spousal support doesn't really get discussed in these cases, which are Title 4D cases. But this also applies in spousal support, as well as rights to any child in the family has to receive child support. So that's why I say a lot of times it's not child support for real, it's government support, because you're assigning your rights, your child's rights, over to the government for these benefits, and you can't just get them back. The same requirement applies to Medicaid benefits as well. Cooperation is defined by federal regulation per 42 CFR 433.147B as provided relevant information or evidence, appearing as a witness at hearings, attesting to lack of information under penalty of perjury if the requested information is not available, paying the Medicaid agency any monies collected by the individual that is covered by the assignment, and taking any other reasonable steps to establish paternity and secure medical support. So those are some of the requirements that they have to meet in order to get those benefits. There's a good cause exemption statute that is rarely used, and that I have this on two different apps, and I'm gonna open it up in another one. Just bear with me 1 second, please. Okay, so those were the definitions of what the cooperation, what it meant. So there's a good cause exemption statute that is rarely used. And I wrote about this yesterday just to put the numbers in perspective. If you want to go to the childsupporthustle.com, I wrote about put the good cause exemption, how many people have applied for it and how many times it's approved, just to give y'all an idea of how much they don't care about reasons that somebody would say or try to get exempted out of filing for child support. How many people, for example, that have tried not to cooperate versus how many people they actually approve. Go check out those numbers. And the Medicaid cooperation requirement is supposed to be exempt for pregnant women and postpartum women. But I'm sure they don't tell women you don't have to sue for child support. You come down here if you're pregnant or if you've had your baby, you just had your baby. I don't have the stats on that. And actually, this was new to me. But I bet you they don't tell women or new mothers that they don't have to sue at that time, because they're always trying to pass legislation that says that a woman can sue for child support while they're pregnant. But I'm reading it right here that says you don't have to cooperate for Medicaid if you're pregnant. Nevertheless, we know that these have been expectant, that we know that there have been expectant and new mothers experience postpartum forced to sue the child support agents, sue for child support in exchange for Medicaid, just like we know that there have been mothers forced to sue for child support when they had a good cause not to participate in the program. Why? Because they get more money. The more cases that are open, the more people that are pursued for child support, the more money the states get from the federal government. Let me give you an example of how a few good cause cases can be approved. Wisconsin considers a parent non-cooperative if they claim a good cause or if the applicant doesn't claim good cause. Wait a minute. Okay. This sounded like what I wrote yesterday, so that's why I was like, this is not yesterday, day before yesterday. So Wisconsin considers a parent non-cooperative if they claim a good cause, if the applicant doesn't claim good cause, if they don't claim it, or if the applicant claims good cause but doesn't have a good cause. Good cause for non-cooperation falls under the categories in Oregon, but can include other reasons. The applicant believes that pursuing support will put their safety or the safety of their children at risk. Birth, medical, or law enforcement records show evidence of incest or rape. Court records or other legal documents or written statements from licensed or professional individuals show possible or pending adoption of the children in question. Or there are sworn statements from individuals other than the applicant with knowledge of circumstances that provide the basis of the participant's claim of good cause. The approval of the good cause exemption is, of course, at the discretion of the caseworker, just like everything else having to do with the child support system. So you have to go basically jump through hoops. Your word is not good enough to say that you have a good cause to not participate, because they're going to ask all these other questions and you have to have all this other evidence in order to get approved for this exemption. So when looking at how many non-cooperative cases were reported versus how many good cause cases were approved, you'll see a pattern. Okay, I thought this was what I wrote, but I actually have the numbers here. So in the past 5 years, Utah had the most non-cooperation cases reported, with 117,731 cases. Only 38 were approved for good cause, not to cooperate with child support enforcement. Illinois had almost 60,000. Only 3 were approved for good cause exemption. And California reported almost 57,000 in non-cooperative cases. And this is over the past 5 years. And do you know how many cases were approved for good cause? None. So we're supposed to believe that all of the people who did not cooperate did not have a legitimate reason for opting out or not cooperating with the child support system. Or are we more than likely going to believe that they were told that they had to cooperate no matter what? So this brings me for the reason of the video. As I mentioned, I've been seeing more custodial parents saying that they are being told that they have to cooperate with child support to receive emergency cash benefits, food stamps and SNAP, and child care. Now, first with TANF, there's a contingency fund that has been established for TANF benefits in the event of an economic downturn. According to the Congressional Research Service, Section 9201 of the American Rescue Plan Act created a temporary TANF grant, which provided $1 billion to help states, territories, and tribes finance non-recurrent short-term benefits. Now, this is critical because people are signing up for TANF, or they're telling me, so I have to say allegedly, they're writing me and asking me, do I have to sue for child support? So that's why this, if I sign up for TANF, say you lose your job, or you know what's going on with the COVID pandemic, people are out of work, they need help. So this is that emergency money, which I'm sure they didn't advertise, which I didn't hear about it. This is something I found in my research. So for these short-term benefits, they have criteria that is different than what is there for the regular TANF benefits. So pandemic funds are not used by the state, will be reallocated to other states. So they have to use the money, okay, or somebody else will. These funds can only be used for non-reoccurrent short-term benefits and the administration cost of providing them. Short-term benefits are defined as benefits made in the form of cash, vouchers, subsidies, and other forms of payments to deal with a specific crisis situation or episode of need, and are excluded from the definition of assistance on that basis. So this is different than your regular TANF, the TANF criteria. Non-reoccurrent short-term benefits are sometimes provided in lieu of basic assistance, though states may provide such benefits to recipients in addition to ongoing basic assistance. These benefits are not subject to federal TANF time limits. Remember, they put a time limit up to 60 months, but some states will only let somebody receive TANF for 2 years. So this emergency contingency fund is not subject to those time limits. They do not count toward the federal work requirement. So if you go down there and apply and your caseworker says you have to work to get this emergency TANF money, they're not telling you the truth. And this is the important part as to this video. Recipients are not required to cooperate with child support enforcement. There are a couple other exclusions, and I put the link to what I'm reading is in the description. As always, I'm gonna always put the links from everything that I read. All the sources are going to be available to you. States are required to expand grants from the initial allocation all the way until September 30th, 2022. So that's a lot to say that if you are getting temporary, short-term, non-recurring TANF benefits during this time of economic downturn due to COVID or whatever, if the money that you're receiving falls under this contingency fund, you do not have to cooperate with child support. So if your caseworker or the caseworker that you are seeing that you went down there and applied for benefits for is telling you that, they're lying to you. So as far as the SNAPS benefits or food stamps, cooperation with child support is not a national mandate, meaning not every state has it. In fact, only one state requires that a parent sue for child support in exchange for food stamps, and that's Florida. Although in 2019, the USDA issued a memo encouraging states to make this a federal mandate. U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue, tried to justify this by stating that, quote, increasing the number of states that implement child support cooperation requirements will benefit families, help non-custodial parents assume responsibility for the well-being and stability of their children, and provide more children with support they deserve. Of course, we know, based on how this child support program is set up as a welfare recovery program, we know that's nonsense. You're putting most of the time one low-income parent against another low-income parent and expecting all this money to come out of the air. So now you want to take the benefits from the child so they can't eat. And they've done numerous studies about this. That's why it's not mandated in every state, and only one state mandates it. So one main reason was cited that this is not good policy was cited by the Center of Budget and Policy Priorities, stating that cooperation requirements leave low-income families more vulnerable for very little payoff. There's not a reason, a justifiable reason to make parents cooperate with these low-income public programs that are supposed to be safety nets in exchange for child support. If the other parent doesn't have it, it doesn't make any sense to penalize, because guess who's getting penalized? The child. And it just makes sense. But these government officials are so greedy. They don't care about these children. Stop letting them manipulate the scenario and make it seem like child support is for these children. It's not. We know it's failed policies because we can look at the numbers. We can look at how much money they're hoarding, which is a whole different video. If I which I will, and I have, break down the numbers, the amount, just the sheer amount of money that goes into this child support system and how the children don't get this money is mind-blowing. I can't even believe that almost 30 years after this, with all the information that we have out here, that we still have to advocate and fight for this system to be reformed, abolished, whatever you want to say, for it not to operate the way that it operates, because the children clearly are not benefiting from this system. There's no mystery. It's a Google search. And it's not just myself that puts this information out. There's a lot of people. It's astounding. Somebody said, y'all might see it in the comments, and you know, I get the occasional, I can't believe that you fight for these, you know, these fathers that don't take care of their children, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, if you would stop and look and really look at what I'm saying, you will understand that I say this because of the children and the parents and the family as a whole. It's not beneficial to families, and it's definitely not beneficial to children to lock parents up, to punish a parent because they cannot afford what the government feels that they should be paying so the government can get their money. It's not the kids' money, it's their money. That is not beneficial. And I'll never, ever say it is. So please, before, if you see this later, you see this, please don't hit me and try to lecture me about what I need to be doing or what I need to be saying or what I need to understand. I understand exactly what I'm talking about. I understand exactly what I'm doing. And grown people don't need other grown people to tell them what they need to do. I had to do that on a side note because I told that lady, but she's not the only one. I'm supposed to be getting sued too. But I can't, like, freedom of speech. You right, Eric. Let me see. It's all horrible. I have no good things to say about the system, period. None. So, okay, so I say Florida is the only one that exclusively, if you go in and file for food stamps, they will tell you that you have to sue for child support. You have to cooperate. Now, there's other states that they have something that's called, let me see if I wrote this down. I don't have it on here, but I have it. If y'all give me a second, I got notes and stuff everywhere. I want to make sure that I tell you what it's called if I wrote it here. I don't have it, but it's going to be in the description. So it's a program or a requirement that if you fail to perform an action, including cooperating with child support in TANF cases, you are automatically sanctioned from the food stamp program. But it's called something. I don't want to fool with I got stuff open. I don't want to fool with it. So if you don't cooperate with TANF, they'll automatically flag you for food stamps. Now, these are the states that they'll do that in: Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Nebraska, New Mexico, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Oklahoma, and Wyoming. So you're going to automatically be sanctioned if you don't cooperate with TANF. They're going to take your food stamps. So yeah, that's beneficial to the children. So if you say, oh, shoot, I don't want to sue the other parent, they're working their ass off just like me. I don't want them to get in trouble like we're both providing. We're just not together. Too bad. So now your kids can't eat in those 13 states and Florida. So as far as child care, which is always in the news, right? They care so much about making sure that these children, our children, everybody's children has child care, affordable, safe, reliable child care. So there's 24 states that force parents to sue for child support in exchange for a child care subsidy. Now, keep in mind, when you sue for child support, now when you have to have child care, we're talking about little kids, little babies up to school age. So that's a few years, maybe 4 years, let's say 5 at the most. But you cannot go down and close the child support case because you don't need child care anymore. Oh no, they won't let you do that. That child support case is open for the duration of that child's life until they turn 18 or the age of majority. If they go to college in some states, that child support case will remain open until they finish college. And if there's arrears on that case, that can last for that parent's lifetime. And we're talking about for like up to 5 years of benefits for childcare. And you have to sign all your rights over to child support, to any child support that that child receives, over to the state. Now let's see what these 24 states are. Bear with me. Idaho, Montana, Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Arkansas, Mississippi. Mississippi, you should be ashamed of yourself. Kentucky, West Virginia, North Carolina, Maryland, Delaware, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Virginia, DC, New York, Maine, and Michigan. I say Mississippi should be ashamed of themselves because they pay the lowest amount in monthly benefits. I think it's $177 for a parent and 2 children. And they have the highest rate of child poverty in the nation. And they have the audacity, when a parent does need help to get a job and go to work, and they need some help with child care, they have the audacity to make them sue for child support. Mississippi, shame on you. Shame on all of them. But Mississippi, really, y'all terrible. Again, if I didn't name your state and they forced you or the other parent to cooperate with child support against your will in order to receive child care subsidies, you need to file a motion to terminate that case immediately and file a complaint against them. That child support caseworker, that local agency, and everybody else that told you that you had to cooperate with them in order to get that subsidy. If they tell you that the information is inaccurate, like I said, I provided the sources in the description. They can't lie with facts. Just present them with well, here it is right here. And where I got the information I'm giving you is from a federal agency. And the agency is called the Assistant Secretary of Planning and Evaluation. That's in the description. So I know this was a longer video, and y'all know if y'all new here, if y'all been here, I get tangled up at the beginning, but once I start flowing, I go for what I know. So child support. Yeah, they putting sperm donors on child support. Next thing you know, they're gonna be putting water on child support, putting air on child support, anything to get $1. They got men that's not even fathers on child support. It's ridiculous. This is, and the more you know, right? The more that you know, and you can protect yourself, know your rights, and go in there, because they can't keep violating everybody's rights. They can do it up to a certain extent when nobody knows, like they have been doing for the past 25 years. Because remember, this came in 96 after they did welfare reform and the child support reform, all that. Well, reform is what would, you know. But once we know, they can't keep doing it to everybody. Bless you back, John. 10.48 per dollar they collect. I don't know about the SSN. I know they charge the states. I know they profit for every dollar. I think the national average this year was $5.06. I want to say. I know it's $5 or something. So they get profit on top of profit, underneath profit, over profit. They slam and dunk profits. So we got to stop letting them profit off of us. So often I hear that parents are on child support. Oh, I said this earlier, because they don't take care of their children. And that's just, again, that's not true. It's because the government is forcing, and now we know they're lying to make people think that they have to participate in the child support system, even to get help on programs that they don't have to participate in. It's not a federal mandate. So they've been not telling the truth since I've been involved. And they're still not telling the truth. The difference is now with social media and people, organizations out here, and people advocating and up here stomping around, they can't get away with what they've been used to getting away with for so many decades. That stuff is over. So now they coming clean with, they're trying to do this, they're trying to do that. And I'm actually researching the attorney's manual that they just updated. So I've been kind of busy, like looking through that and seeing what they updated, what's in there, what's not. They did put a lot of stuff in there that should have been in there, what should have been going on a long time ago. But that's another video. I want to make sure that everybody that needs the information has the information. I'm working on a couple other things. That's why I'm not, and I'm sorry guys, my apologies, but I'm not working on individual cases. If you hit me up and I can answer your questions or point you in the right direction, I will do so. I'm just not advocating on a one-on-one basis like I was when I started. I've been doing this for a few years now. So now I'm putting some other stuff out, and a lot of information out there. So hopefully everything that I write, even my book, my court docs are in here from when I had to, they wouldn't let me close my case. So I fought them in Ohio, Franklin County. And I even put my court documents in my book to show how they had to dismiss the case and the arrears because they wouldn't do it. So I fought them for 8 years about that as a custodial parent. You can get my book on my website, thechildsupporthustle.com. You can also show your support and get a t-shirt. I don't have one on today. It's hot here in Texas. A t-shirt. I did have a mask here, but I don't have it here. But I opened the book to say that even in my book, I have a ton of references. I don't know if you can see it, just references, because references are important. So it points you in the right direction. And so in my articles that I write, and I have tons of articles on my website, like I said, it's thechildsupporthustle.com. I'm gonna always have some sources there for you. So you can go and look and hopefully advocate for yourself. You are your strongest advocate. I'll point you in the right direction. I think that it is important that we fight this fight individually and in a group effort. There's power in numbers, but at the same time, we have to fight back on our own, because we can't, like, I can't go there, you know what I'm saying? Or you can't come and fight for me in my whatever battle I'm going through. So that's why it's good to share the information. That's why I like to do it. So that's why I say, even though I'm not working on individual cases and things like that, I still want to bring the information to everybody. I still want to still write and everything like that, because I want people to be able to know the information. Right, knowledge is power. The more you know, and the more you know it, I know it, I can share it to you, you can share it to the next person. Y'all got something that y'all can share with me, share it to me, and then I can share it to other people. Then we, guess what, we winning. You're welcome, Mr. Sean Turner. Lack of knowledge, but they banked on that. They counted on that, the lack of knowledge, and they put the narrative out. And I say they, I mean the government. They bashed fathers back when they pushed out this deadbeat dad narrative, where they made it to the point where it was okay to incarcerate a father that could not afford to pay what they said that he was supposed to pay. It was okay to strip a father. And I'm saying, if I know there's mothers that pay child support, trust me, I know. But I'm saying when this all went down, they made it okay to strip a father of his benefits and his rights to his children for $1, for a profit. And that's what this is the remnants of it. And this is, and they know it's unsustainable. Like, and people we're not having it. And even if you're off the system, if you've been a part of this and you know what's going down, you should still be, in my opinion, I can't tell you what to do. We all, we've grown. But this is something I think is something that you can lend your voice to, even if your children are adults like my children are. I can still lend my voice and help this fight, because it goes beyond just child support. This affects everything, in my opinion, every aspect of life. After they get finished with us, who you think they're coming after next? That's right, our children. So I hope this was informative. Let's do here. Grand. I hope that don't mean grandma. Well, my kids, they grown. I'm old enough to be one. So, yeah. I would fight any wage garnishment. First of all, go back and see if the case is even valid. Make sure they served you properly at the very beginning of the case. Hello, Canada. I didn't see you there earlier. Salute. Y'all got a system like ours down here. I've talked to quite a few parents in Canada. I'm just looking at the comments now, see if I can answer any questions. That's true, Eric, but the time that is over. A lot of people are working underground. They don't even, some people, people are like, what's the point of working 80 hours a week? 80 hours every 2 weeks and bringing home nothing. That's slavery. I will certainly try, Mr. Turner. There's definitely fraud. Fake is smoke and mirrors. This whole child support system is smoke and mirrors. Oh, he wasn't calling me grand. He was saying grand to somebody else. Okay. Thank you. I was like, but I'll take, I'm glad I saw that, because it was going to mess with me all damn night. I ain't going to lie. I know some people, don't go by their social security number. But some people they don't want to not have their social. Like, they don't want to become sovereign where they don't use their social security number, because they don't want to go off the grid just because of child support. So, I know that works for some people, and I know a lot of people support that program or that avenue in getting off of child support. And I'm saying there's lots of different ways. I'm not saying what I do work. I know what worked in my case. So I'm not putting down any case. I'm just saying what works for one might not work for another. Some people don't want to give up their Social Security number. You know, they want to still be able to function in society, even though they have a child support case, as they should. In my opinion, you should still be able to move around and not have all your rights stripped, and not be able to travel out the country, and not be able to, you know, breathe just because you have a child support case. Right. That's okay, Eric. What's this giving it? I think are you talking about oh man, California, they put out a video about know the facts, and I shared it on Twitter, and everybody in the video is so like, yeah, I didn't know the facts, and oh, my caseworker, the caseworker really treated me like a human, and really, and I only think I could think of is they're supposed to treat you like that. You are human. Since when are we happy that a caseworker treat us like a human? Nobody. That's not a win. That's not anything to be happy about. They're supposed to. If you think about it, the caseworkers, our tax dollars pay them. They're our employee. You better treat me like a human. Here's my attitude. Oh, stop. It be pissing me off, and then somebody gonna come and tell me how I'm supposed to. You're not supposed to act like that. Well, yeah. If you knew what I knew and saw what I saw, talk to people how I talk to people, you would be pissed off too. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to get up off of here. Like I said, I'm looking at this manual so I can bring y'all information on that. A lot of the information, the stuff I've talked about, they just updated their manual, so kind of bringing them up to date. Hey Tim, and I appreciate you all. Like I said, go over and if you can, subscribe here so you can know when my videos come on, and yeah, do that. And what else? Oh, you can get my articles and things, order my book, The Child Support Hustle, and a t-shirt at my website, thechildsupporthustle.com. Let me see, on Instagram. Oh, and in the description is my link tree, and that has like all the social media sites, like my latest articles and all that kind of stuff. If there's something that you want discussed or you can't find it, you like to see if I have some information on it, send me an email, cshustle1@gmail.com. And if I haven't already discussed it or wrote about it, I'll see about doing a video on it. If I have, I'll send you the link. You're a blessing too, E. Santiago. And thank you for being here. Thank y'all for all liking the video. I appreciate that. They need to start treating you guys as you are, parents, human beings, and citizens of the United States of America. And don't settle for anything less. All right. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's Wednesday, and I will see y'all the next time I stream. Don't forget to turn y'all noties on. All right. Thank you. Remember, they can ignore hundreds, they can ignore thousands, but they cannot ignore millions. Let's go.